because we always used to attack it when like defending.
I think like
Have you been impressed with the 2026 World Cup edition so far? In many ways, yes. In many ways, no. You know me, people. I hate to use the term bigger nations, smaller nations. I hate that condescending thing. Football is for everyone, every race, every religion, everybody. Big nation, small nation, and people can do that stuff, yeah. But for people need to remember, for some countries, just making the World Cup, just scoring a goal, just to see their nation out there, for a lot of fans and the players, it's the highest honor. And I do think when you focus on England, Spain, France, those kind of nations, yeah. Not that I'm accusing the players of anything, because the World Cup is a thing of dreams, yeah. But it's just another big game. These lot play at high levels and things. Some of these nations, yeah, that we'll get into it. This is the biggest honor. We could walk past them in the street and never know. But a World Cup is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And the stories, man, we'll get onto it. But Yan Diomande, his journey from America to Spain to Germany and now playing at the world stage, the goalkeeper of Cape Verde, 40 years of age, playing in the second division, man of the match performance in a low level kind of game between Spain and Cape Verde. Big up Cape Verde, big up Haiti, big up Carousel. There's so many nations. Big up Ivory Coast for being the first African nation to get 3 points. I want the African nations to go as far as possible. And then you've got stories to come like Congo, etc., etc. So I'm going to kind of do a World Cup kind of series, people, and just offer my thoughts and smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts, people. So if I bring it on screen, I'll go over the game so far. Now, I believe Egypt are losing a 0-0 against Belgium at the time of making this video. So we'll spin the block on the next episode, people, and let me know your talking points. Now, if I zoom in and we kind of go game by game, Mexico versus South Africa. Crazy, innit? South Africa ain't got the legs. Silly mistakes led them to conceding. It looked magical for Mexico to not only win, but be playing at their home stadium. Big up Jimenez. 3 red cards. It was comical. I'm not going to lie. The Mexican red card, I don't think he was the last man. It should have been a yellow. He clattered it. Quality wasn't really there, but it was a good game. Now, South Korea 2, Czech Republic 1 was a good game for me. As an Arsenal fan, the Czech Republic goal I've been telling, man, we need to unlock that long throw. That long throw and header, bang. Obviously, it's a shed because the goal was disallowed, if I remember correctly, for Czech Republic. And obviously, South Korea, the Asian nations, one thing I like about them is their humility and their work ethic. Of course, they've got quality individuals, but they all work well. They all work for the shirt, etc. And it was good from South Korea. So big up them. Canada versus Bosnia, I actually feel was a very entertaining end-to-endy kind of game. Obviously, if you're Bosnia, you'll be kicking yourselves because you conceded against Canada. But I actually feel at the point of it being game week 3, yeah, I did enjoy South Korea versus Czech Republic. Even the goal from a dead ball that was disallowed, but from a Czech Republic scenario, I feel the tempo in real time. I did enjoy Canada versus Bosnia. America. Now, big up the Americans. We have a bit of back and forth here, yeah, but the goals you scored were quality. Balogun's second finish was amazing. Balogun had done the right thing. I'm happy to see him shining. He's left Arsenal, got us some money, thriving for club, now thriving for country. They're the home nation. And to be honest, out of Mexico, Canada, and America, based on the first game, I actually think the Americans look the best. Now, if I'm honest, going into the tournament, I thought of the 3 host nations, the Mexicans would go the furthest. It's only one game. Commiserations to Paraguay. They did get a goal, but yeah, Qatar versus Switzerland, marred by VAR and all of that kind of stuff. Switzerland should be kicking themselves. Credit to Qatar, but Switzerland should be kicking themselves. They conceded. They didn't take their chances. And as you know, in football, if you're 1-0 up and you're not taking your chances, or you're not creating and you're not taking them, these are things that can happen. Brazil versus Morocco. 2 similar styles, 2 technical proficient players, sets of players. And it's one thing talking about the professionals that played in that game, that are in the World Cup squad for either side, but we all know Moroccans in our personal life, and we all know what Brazilians, you could go down the park, there's hella skills. I think of the bigger nations I've seen so far, Brazil are in trouble. We know what we live in this day and age of systemic football. The games are narrow, teams are compact, all of that kind of stuff. Carlo Ancelotti's got his work to do, man, because although I don't feel Casemiro's a good player and it's been a great serviceman, he hasn't got the leg, and he's naturally getting on. He hasn't got the legs. Bruno ain't got the legs. Fabinho ain't got the legs. Don't know what's going on with Paqueta. Rafinha stunk up the place. But the midfield is getting outnumbered and they're not running. the goal you conceded, there's gaps. There's gaps from the attack to the midfield. The midfield and the defense are too far apart. The defense is too far apart. Allison coming off his line, several points of failure. But that tells me one thing, people: dodgy tactical decisions, not getting the system, dodgy call-ups, and there's no communication. Alisson's the last line of defense. Shouldn't have came out, yeah. And it was a great goal from a Moroccan perspective. I think Morocco should have put 3-4 past Brazil in the first 10 or so minutes. I think the second half, Brazil were much better. There's a lot of food for thought. Brazil looked poor. And, you know me, I'm back in Brazil all the way. I'm 31. For 24 of the years I've been on this earth, yeah, Brazil are not a serious footballing nation where the World Cup's concerned. And the 6th World Cup, it will come one day, but it looks too far away. If I'm brutally honest, it looks like square pegs in round holes. The fullbacks are not good enough. It just looks a mess. Now, I think Haiti versus Scotland, I stayed up to watch it, innit? I thought it was going to be a dead game. I actually think Haiti did well, just didn't have the quality in the final third. I think that's Scotland's first victory since 1990, so large up to them. Now, I did try to stay up for Australia versus Turkey, people. I had to watch it on a rerun. It was a myth. I thought Turkey were going to win. I thought Arda Güler, Kinlan Yildiz, yada, yada, yada. Credit to Australia. I forgot my man's name, but the guy who scored the first goal, the black youth, that it's a great story, of him playing for Australia. I think he comes from, his parents were refugees and things like that. Didn't work out for him at Bayern Munich. Found his feet at Watford and whatnot. I didn't have that. I personally would go as far as to say that's the first upset at the time of the tournament. Like, I didn't have Australia winning 2-0. And I did like how they defended and certain aspects of the defensive work, people. Carousel bigged them up for scoring. Germany put them to the sword, didn't it, really and truly? And Germany's shown that while they're not quite the Germany of Khedira and Ozil and Tony Kroos, yada, 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 7 goals in it. Musiala's been getting a lot of shit in the German press. Nice to see him score. Is it Nathaniel Brown? He's decent. The goal Germany conceded was poor. I must say that. Now, we all knew the Japanese, whenever we run up in the World Cup, they're on to someone. Holland have been poor, so I expected that. Another goal that had a set piece. I think the Japanese deserved it. Watching it, because I watched the extended highlights after watching the 90 minutes, it made me think Japan, if they, belief isn't the right word, but if they were a bit more aggressive in the first half, I reckon they win, if I'm honest with you. The defending for the second goal that Holland conceded was absolutely abysmal. Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. How many times was the post hit? And that game delivered, in my opinion. And obviously not in terms of goals, but South Americans, Africans, high intensity. Obviously, big up Amad Diallo. I think he's Ivory Coast's youngest scorer. They're the first African team to win. But the man is going to be Yan Diomande. But, people are going to look at Yan Diomande and Bouaddi because they've done well. And especially if they continue doing what they're doing at the World Cup and think, these are them players that they turn up at the World Cup. They play well, and then you don't know where they go beyond that. And the next World Cup comes, they might not be there. It's naive, Yan Diomande, if he could just fine-tune his decision-making, he's a problem on the left and the right. Gave Hincapié problems, people. And you can see why Liverpool won him, PSG won him. You're looking at 50, 60, 70, 100 odd million. You can see why he starts. And 2024, he was playing high school football in America. 2026, look where he is. It shows you how quickly life can change, innit? So these are not no flash in the pans. And I've done videos on Bouaddi. Yeah, Bouaddi's a quality player. He's played just shy of 100 times for Lille, including the championship. Morocco was just an audition to the casual fan because more people are going to watch a World Cup game than they would, with the greatest of respect, Lille. Diomande and Bouaddi, they're going to go for serious money. And unfortunately, their price tag is going to go up and up and up. Sweden put Tunisia to the sword, didn't it? Like, Tunisia sacked their manager. Lovely to see Isaac fit and scoring. Lovely to see Gyökeres on the score sheet. Is it Ayari? I forgot his name. Very proficient and technical footballer. Did like his goal. Yeah, man. Some of the goals could have been avoided. It was just poor. Big up Cape Verde. Big up Cape Verde. Masterclass defensively. As an Arsenal fan with Mikel Arteta, I love it. Rodri's out here crying, saying they didn't try and play football. Why on God's green earth would they try and match you technically? Look at the people you brought off the bench. Mikel Merino, see what I did there. Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams. Look at the starting 11. While I didn't agree with not that I can tell an international manager anything, you could argue, could you have went with Dani Almo or Nico Williams from the start? Ferran Torres, I think he's poor. Jarabal is a decent player, but he had a stinker, and I think he had the least touches of any player in a World Cup in the first opening 30 minutes. People think Opta came out with that. But they can't match you technically. What they can match you is off the ball because, their game plan, whatever the managers told them, they can do that. Same with Spain. They were stubborn. They were good defensively. I even reckon towards the end of in the second half, when it looked a bit even and it weren't really absorbing pressure, they might have even been able to nick it. Credit to the goalkeeper, Vitória, 40 years of age, second division in Portugal. He's gone down as a legend in Cape Verde in history and for footballing. And this is stuff like this. like some of the things I've said, and smash the like button and subscribe. Some of the things you're about to say is what the World Cup's about. So yeah, Spain were poor by their own aspects, and I haven't been moved by the bigger nations. They had some chances where they should have done better. I don't think personally, watching that and doing a watch along, they can complain that they didn't score. They didn't fashion a number of chances. They did call the Cape Verdean keeper into action 1-2 times, in which he made fantastic saves, people. So yeah, man, I think it's good. I think the stars so far, Bouaddi, Diomande. I'm not really moved by the bigger nations. Cool, granted, Germany won 7-1, and they've done the better. But respectfully, we'll have to see. I think Brazil are food. I think Brazil are in, and I want Brazil to win this World Cup. I think they're in serious problems if they do get as far as to meet the Frances, the Englands, the Spain. Holland, they've been poor for a number of years. Credit to Japan as well. Spain, you're left wanting more, but Spain statistically always do quite poorly in their first game. So we got to remember this is a marathon, not a sprint. And to be honest with you, the sheer quality and depth of the better teams might start to show. And I'm interested to see what the knockout phases are looking like, what the second or third group stage games where, you know, if you win or if you lose, it fluctuates how you qualify. Because, you know, it's an expanded World Cup. So you need to finish within the 3 spots. And that's actually why I'm happy with Cape Verde, because they've given themselves a fighting chance, people. So it will be interesting to see what's going on. But you know what? This World Cup is better than what I've given it credit for. I'm still not moved yet. Maybe it's because I'm still peed off with, you know, the hydration breaks, the whole stuff around the whole tournament going into it. But it is nice that we're getting to focus on the football. And ultimately, it's a worldwide festival, a celebration of cultures. So that's why I'm happy, man. So long may it continue. But Bouaddi and Diamande, they have to be the stars so far, man.